Are you ready to dive into the world of project management? Hit that subscribe button as we explore how to stay relevant in the agile workforce.
The predictive approach, also known as the waterfall approach. This approach is useful when a project and product requirements can be defined. It's collected and analyzed from the start of the project. It may be used when a significant investment is also involved. If you see a significant investment, keyword predictive is probably the type of approach that you're looking at. And also there's a high level of risk that may require frequent reviews. You're going to have a lot of governance, a lot of oversight on those reviews because there's that high level of investment. Change control mechanisms and replanning can happen between those development phases. The scope, schedule, cost, resources needed, and risk can be defined in early phases. So there's a lot of planning and you define these in early phases. It allows the project team to reduce the levels of uncertainty early in the project up front because they're doing a lot of planning. So your ultimate goal is to reduce the uncertainty. Understand that there's always going to be uncertainty on projects. And also possessing a proof of concept developments to explore options. But most project work follows plans described early at the start of the project. So you might work off of proof of concept, but you're usually going to use that plan that you started, describing early on in the project. And many projects use this approach and they have template from previous projects. So if you're using a template and you see the word template, predict. So the second approach we're going to discuss is the hybrid. This is a combination of adaptive, which we'll discuss last, and the predictive approach. And this is proper when there is uncertainty and risk around the requirements. It is helpful when deliverables can be modularized or when different projects teams can develop different. You often use an iterative or incremental approach. An iterative approach is useful when clarifying requirements and investigating. Iterative approaches are useful when clarifying the requirements, making sure that you're understanding and investigating other options. This may produce sufficient capability to be considered acceptable for the final iteration. And you get to try ideas to clarify the scope, approach, and also the requirements. So this is really good for experimentation purposes. An incremental approach is used to produce a deliverable throughout a series of iterations. So each iteration adds functionality with a predetermined time box, and that time box is also called a time frame. And it progressively develops features and functions. We call that progressive elaboration. This deliverable can be considered complete only at the final iteration. However, an example of a hybrid approach could be the use of an adaptive approach to develop the product with significant uncertainty around with the requirements. However, the deployment when you're delivering it can be done using a approach. Another is a project with two deliverables. So one deliverable is used using an adaptive approach and the other uses a predictive approach.
Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more project management content. See you on the next one.